In today's world, where relationships are often clouded by misunderstandings and emotional manipulation, what if you had a timeless guide that could teach you how to approach women with true wisdom and respect? With the complexities of modern dating and the prevalence of digital communication, many men struggle to find authentic connections, often resorting to behaviors that undermine trust and intimacy. In a time when emotional intelligence and clear communication are essential, the question becomes, how can men navigate relationships in a way that cultivates mutual respect and understanding? This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, can offer invaluable guidance. Rooted in the principles of wisdom, virtue, self-control, and integrity, Stoicism provides a moral compass that helps individuals navigate life's challenges with clarity and resilience. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, letting go of the things outside our influence, and most importantly, acting in alignment with our core values. For modern men, Stoicism offers a way to cultivate stronger, healthier relationships, particularly with women. By embodying the virtues of Stoicism, men can approach relationships with a mindset of respect and emotional maturity, moving beyond manipulative tactics or fleeting desires. The objective of this transcript is to help men understand the actions they should avoid when interacting with women, whether in dating, friendship, or romantic partnerships. Through the lens of Stoicism, we'll explore how to build trust, respect, and genuine connection, ensuring that every interaction is guided by wisdom and integrity. The Stoic approach to relationships is built on a foundation of principles that have stood the test of time. Stoicism teaches us to navigate life's challenges by cultivating virtues such as wisdom, integrity, self-control, and respect for the autonomy of others. These principles offer profound insights into how men can engage with women in ways that foster genuine respect, trust, and emotional maturity. At the core of Stoicism is the idea that virtue is the highest good. Virtue encompasses qualities such as honesty, fairness, and courage, qualities that serve as the guiding principles in all of our actions and interactions. In the context of relationships, these virtues encourage men to treat women with respect, to be truthful in their intentions, and to maintain a strong sense of integrity in their actions. A Stoic understands that building a meaningful connection requires honesty and fairness, where both individuals are valued as equals. Wisdom is another key Stoic virtue that plays a crucial role in relationships. Wisdom involves the ability to discern what is important and to act accordingly. It requires emotional intelligence, the capacity to listen, and the awareness to understand another person's needs, desires, and boundaries. In relationships with women, wisdom encourages men to be reflective, thoughtful, and aware of how their actions affect others. It helps men avoid impulsive behaviors, such as making unrealistic promises or pursuing relationships for superficial reasons, which often lead to frustration and disappointment. Instead, Stoic wisdom pushes men to prioritize meaningful connections that are rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Self-control, another critical Stoic principle, is fundamental in ensuring that interactions with women are based on genuine intentions, not manipulation or emotional exploitation. A Stoic man is aware of his impulses and desires, but is disciplined in how he expresses them. Self-control encourages men to avoid behaviors that might exploit emotional vulnerabilities or seek to control others for selfish gain. Rather than acting out of neediness or trying to force an outcome, self-control empowers men to approach relationships with a calm, centered mindset, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Integrity, which involves staying true to one's values and principles, is also central to the Stoic approach to relationships. In any interaction, integrity ensures that a man is honest with both himself and others. This means not only being truthful about one's intentions, but also treating women with fairness, transparency, and consistency. Integrity calls for avoiding deceptive tactics or manipulation in an attempt to gain favor or influence outcomes. Instead, it encourages men to show up as their authentic selves, fostering trust and openness in their relationships. Lastly, The Stoic principle of respecting autonomy emphasizes the importance of honoring the individuality and independence of others. Stoics believe that each person has the right to make their own choices and to live according to their values. In the context of relationships, this means acknowledging and respecting a woman's agency and freedom. A Stoic understands that a healthy relationship is not about control or coercion, but about mutual respect for each other's independence and choices. By focusing on these core principles, virtue, wisdom, self-control, integrity, and respect for autonomy, a Stoic man is equipped to navigate relationships in a way that is constructive and fulfilling. Stoicism encourages men to avoid destructive behaviors such as emotional manipulation, dishonesty, or pressure tactics, which can create imbalance and resentment in relationships. Instead, it offers a blueprint for cultivating meaningful, sustainable connections based on mutual respect and shared values. Another central element of Stoic philosophy is the belief in the intrinsic value and dignity of all individuals. According to the Stoics, every person is inherently valuable and deserving of respect, regardless of their gender, background, or social status. This belief is grounded in the idea that we all share a common humanity, and thus each person should be treated with the same regard and consideration as anyone else. In the context of relationships, this Stoic belief challenges men to reject harmful stereotypes and societal expectations that might degrade or diminish women. Instead, it calls on men to see women as full, autonomous human beings with their own thoughts, desires, and aspirations, worthy of respect and equal treatment. It encourages men to build relationships based on equality, where both individuals have an equal voice and agency in the dynamic. A Stoic man recognizes that treating others with dignity is not a conditional act based on what they can offer, but rather an inherent aspect of being a person of virtue. He understands that every individual deserves to be treated with respect simply because they are a fellow human being, not because of any external factor. This mindset leads to relationships that are built on trust, where each person feels valued and free to express themselves authentically. In practice, this belief in human dignity means that men should never objectify or demean women, whether through words, actions, or attitudes. It calls for mutual respect, where both parties have equal say and authority over the direction and dynamics of the relationship. By upholding the intrinsic dignity of every person, Stoicism guides men toward relationships that are rooted in equality, respect, and the shared understanding that both individuals are deserving of love, care, and consideration. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to relationships offers a pathway to deeper, more meaningful connections, based on timeless values that transcend fleeting trends or manipulative behaviors. It encourages men to approach relationships with integrity, wisdom, and respect, fostering an environment where both partners can thrive and grow together. Manipulation involves influencing someone through deceptive, coercive, or exploitative tactics, often without their knowledge or consent. In relationships, manipulation can take many forms, including emotional, psychological, or even physical manipulation, all of which are designed to gain power, control, or advantage over another person. The manipulator uses these tactics to create an imbalance of power, making the other person feel guilty, confused, or uncertain about their feelings and actions. This can range from guilt-tripping and gaslighting to more extreme forms of manipulation like threats or controlling behavior. From a Stoic perspective, manipulation goes against the core values of integrity and wisdom. Integrity demands honesty and transparency, and manipulation is the complete opposite. It thrives on deception and exploitation. Wisdom, on the other hand, involves discerning what is truly valuable in life and acting accordingly. Manipulation may bring short-term gains, but it ultimately erodes trust and the deep connection that a meaningful relationship requires. A Stoic man understands that the path to lasting, healthy relationships lies not in manipulation, but in mutual respect and understanding. Real-life examples of manipulation can be seen in relationships where one partner uses guilt or emotional blackmail to get their way. For instance, someone may say, "If you loved me, you would do this for me," which pressures the other person into compliance under the guise of love. Over time, these behaviors create resentment and emotional distance. Manipulation undermines a person's ability to trust their own instincts, leading them to doubt their perceptions and feelings. To engage in open, honest, and transparent communication with women, Stoicism encourages a direct approach where intentions are clear and discussions are respectful. This means being upfront about one's desires, respecting the other person's autonomy, and creating an environment where both individuals feel heard and understood. Rather than using manipulation to control a situation, men should focus on fostering a relationship based on honesty, mutual respect, and emotional maturity. Objectification is the act of reducing a person to their physical attributes or using them as a means to satisfy one's own desires, rather than seeing them as a whole, autonomous individual with their own goals, emotions, and complexities. This approach to relationships dehumanizes women, viewing them solely as objects for pleasure or utility. Objectifying language, actions, or attitudes often leads to harmful dynamics where women are not valued for their thoughts, feelings, or character, but instead for how they fit into someone else's narrative or desires. Stoic philosophy places a strong emphasis on respecting the dignity and worth of every individual. Every person, regardless of gender, is seen as inherently valuable and deserving of respect. By objectifying women, men violate the Stoic principles of respect and integrity. Instead of seeing women as complete individuals with their own hopes, dreams, and potential, objectification reduces them to their physical appearance or role in fulfilling another person's needs. For example, when a man focuses only on a woman's appearance or sexual attributes, ignoring her intellect, values, or personal goals, he fails to see her as a whole person. In relationships, this dynamic fosters imbalances where women are not truly valued for who they are, but instead as a means to an end. This can result in feelings of frustration, anger, and disconnection as the woman feels dehumanized and disregarded. To shift the focus from objectification to genuine appreciation, men should prioritize understanding and valuing the full complexity of women. This means respecting their autonomy, supporting their ambitions, and recognizing their emotional and intellectual contributions to the relationship. Instead of focusing solely on physical attraction or superficial qualities, a Stoic approach encourages seeing women as equals, recognizing their individuality and appreciating their full range of human experience. Consent is a fundamental aspect of ethical behavior in any relationship. It refers to the voluntary, enthusiastic, and informed agreement to engage in a particular activity or interaction. Whether it's in a romantic, sexual, or any other context, consent ensures that both parties are on the same page and that each individual's autonomy is respected. Ignoring or disregarding consent undermines the foundation of mutual respect and can lead to serious harm, both emotionally and psychologically. From a Stoic perspective, consent aligns with the belief in respecting autonomy and personal rights. A Stoic man understands that each individual has the right to make their own decisions about their body, time, and emotional energy. Disregarding consent is not only disrespectful, but also a violation of the Stoic virtues of wisdom and integrity. Wisdom requires the ability to recognize and honor the boundaries of others, while integrity demands that we remain true to our values, treating others with fairness and respect. The consequences of ignoring consent can be devastating. It can lead to feelings of betrayal, emotional harm, and a breakdown in trust. In romantic or sexual relationships, disregarding consent can be traumatic, leading to feelings of powerlessness and a loss of personal agency. For instance, if a man pressures a woman into a situation where she is not comfortable or coerces her into actions she hasn't agreed to, it can create deep emotional scars that may take years to heal. Practicing clear, enthusiastic, and ongoing consent is essential in fostering healthy relationships. This means ensuring that all parties involved are comfortable, fully informed, and actively participating in decisions. It also involves recognizing that consent is an ongoing process that can be revoked at any time. Engaging in open dialogue, checking in regularly, and respecting the wishes of others are essential elements of respecting consent in relationships. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where one person seeks to make another doubt their own perceptions, memories, or understanding of reality. The term comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, where a man manipulates his wife into believing she is losing her mind. Gaslighting is a particularly harmful form of manipulation because it erodes the victim's sense of self-trust, making them question their thoughts and feelings. This type of emotional abuse is subtle and often insidious, leaving the victim feeling confused, helpless, and isolated. From a Stoic perspective, gaslighting is completely at odds with the virtues of honesty, integrity, and wisdom. A Stoic man understands that the foundation of any relationship is built on trust and truth. Gaslighting, by its nature, seeks to distort reality and mislead the other person for personal gain, creating an environment of doubt and insecurity. This not only undermines trust, but also violates the Stoic principle of integrity, acting in a way that is truthful, transparent, and aligned with one's values. Real-world examples of gaslighting include situations where a man denies or dismisses a woman's experiences or feelings, making her question her own reality. For instance, when a woman expresses discomfort with a particular situation and the man responds by saying, "You're just being too sensitive," or "That never happened," he is effectively gaslighting her. This type of behavior can have devastating effects on the woman's emotional health, leading her to doubt her perceptions and feel like she's losing control of her own reality. To foster trust and authenticity in relationships, it's essential to engage in honest and open communication. A Stoic approach encourages men to validate the emotions and experiences of others, acknowledging their feelings and perspectives rather than dismissing them. Building trust requires a commitment to truthfulness and empathy, where both individuals feel safe to express themselves authentically without fear of manipulation or invalidation. Incorporating Stoic principles into everyday interactions with women offers a powerful framework for creating relationships that are grounded in respect, honesty, and mutual understanding. By embracing virtues such as wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice, men can foster relationships that are not only meaningful but also resilient in the face of challenges. The following practices and exercises draw from Stoic philosophy to help develop emotional self-control, wisdom, and a deep sense of integrity in relationships. The first step in integrating Stoicism into relationships is to align your actions with the virtues that Stoicism advocates. One of the primary Stoic principles is the focus on virtue as the highest good, which means that all actions should be measured by how they contribute to personal integrity and the common good. In relationships, this can be interpreted as treating the other person with kindness, fairness, and respect, regardless of external circumstances. Emotional self-control is a cornerstone of Stoicism. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. In relationships with women, practicing emotional self-control means avoiding reactive or impulsive behaviors, particularly in moments of stress or conflict. Instead of allowing anger, frustration, or disappointment to drive your actions, take a step back and reflect on the situation. Exercise. When you feel triggered or emotionally charged, pause before reacting. Take a few deep breaths, observe your feelings, and ask yourself, what is the most virtuous response in this situation? By creating space between your emotional reaction and your actions, you give yourself the opportunity to act with wisdom and integrity rather than out of emotion or impulse. Wisdom, according to Stoicism, is the ability to discern what is truly important and to act accordingly. In relationships, this means being mindful of the words you use, ensuring they are thoughtful, kind, and aligned with your values. Instead of seeking to manipulate or control the other person, aim for open, honest, and respectful communication that fosters mutual understanding. Exercise. Before engaging in difficult conversations, take time to reflect on your intentions. Ask yourself, what am I hoping to achieve in this conversation? Am I seeking to understand the other person's perspective? This practice helps shift the focus from self-interest to genuine connection and encourages clear, honest, and respectful dialogue. While Stoicism emphasizes the development of virtues like courage, temperance, and justice, it also provides practical tools for living out these virtues in everyday life. By practicing mindfulness, detachment, and empathy, men can navigate relationships in a way that fosters respect and equality rather than ego-driven behavior. Mindfulness is an essential Stoic practice that encourages awareness of the present moment and reflection on one's actions. By regularly taking time to reflect on your thoughts, behaviors, and the dynamics of your relationships, you can improve your decision-making and deepen your understanding of the people around you. Exercise. Set aside a few minutes each day to reflect on your interactions with women. Consider questions like, did I act with integrity today? Did I treat the other person with respect and empathy? What can I improve tomorrow? Journaling or simply reflecting quietly can help you stay aligned with your Stoic values and make conscious decisions about how to approach relationships. Mindfulness also involves being present in the moment and truly listening when interacting with others. It's easy to get distracted or focused on one's own thoughts or desires, but Stoicism teaches us to fully engage with the person in front of us, showing them the respect they deserve. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is detachment, which does not mean indifference, but rather not allowing emotions or ego to control your behavior. Detachment helps you separate your sense of self-worth from external events, ensuring that your actions are guided by virtue, not by emotional reactions or external validation. In relationships, practicing detachment means not becoming overly attached to a particular outcome or controlling the other person. It allows for healthier, more balanced dynamics where both parties can express themselves authentically without fear of judgment or manipulation. Exercise. In situations where you feel your emotions or ego becoming overly engaged, practice detachment by reminding yourself that the other person's actions or feelings do not define your worth. For example, if a woman is upset or decides she no longer wants to pursue a relationship, instead of taking it personally or reacting with defensiveness, remind yourself that her emotions are her own, and your value is not contingent on the success of this particular interaction. This mindset allows you to maintain your emotional stability and avoid behaviors like possessiveness or neediness. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and it is a crucial part of building strong, respectful relationships. In Stoicism, empathy is not about losing oneself in the emotions of others, but rather about understanding and acknowledging their experiences without judgment. A Stoic man listens deeply to the feelings and perspectives of others, recognizing their humanity and treating them with compassion. Exercise. Practice active listening in your conversations with women. This means giving them your full attention, making eye contact, and reflecting on what they are saying without immediately offering solutions or judgments. Ask open-ended questions to better understand their perspective and validate their feelings by acknowledging what they've expressed. For example, if a woman is sharing her concerns, you might say, "I understand that you feel frustrated. Can you help me understand more about what's been bothering you?" This shows that you respect her feelings and are open to understanding her point of view. Developing empathy also involves being attuned to non-verbal cues. Women, like all people, communicate not just with words, but also through body language and tone. A Stoic man is sensitive to these signals and adjusts his behavior accordingly, recognizing the emotional states of others and responding with kindness and respect. Courage. Courage is not only about facing external challenges, but also about standing up for what is right in relationships. It means having the courage to be vulnerable, express your true feelings, and have difficult conversations when necessary. It also means having the strength to walk away from relationships that are toxic or do not align with your values. Second, temperance. Temperance involves moderation and balance. In relationships, it means avoiding extremes, whether it's excessive attachment, control, or neglect. A Stoic man practices temperance by ensuring that his desires do not override his commitment to respect and integrity. He seeks balance in emotional engagement, being both supportive and independent. Third, justice. Justice in relationships means treating others fairly and equally. It's about respecting the autonomy and rights of the other person, ensuring that both parties have a voice in the relationship and working together toward mutual well-being.